Welcome to Yoga for You, a channel tailored to helping you discover your very own unique yoga practice.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I found this beautiful sunset and there's a picnic table, so I decided we might as well do a little handstand tutorial for you up here. So if I can do it on a picnic table, you can probably do it against a wall. It's just gonna be a prep class, so don't feel like you have to go all the way upside down. You can do whatever you'd like here. So let's begin. Let's start in child's pose. Take the tips of your toes together. Maybe separate the legs just a little bit wider than the hips and start to reach your fingertips towards the top of the mat. So I want this to be a very active child's pose in this moment. Really root down through the palms, feel yourself spreading the fingers nice and wide, and right now try to have the second or the third finger facing directly forward. So as we reach the fingertips towards the top of the mat, press into the palms, and without letting your hands move, see if you can sit the hips back a little closer to the heels. And if they're not already, get really strong through the back of your arms. So try to engage your triceps, lift the forearms and the elbows up off the earth, and just feel the length in the sides of your body. And take a deep breath in, and a long breath out. And on your next inhale, let's just meet in a tabletop position. So once you're here, stack your joints. Make sure the shoulders are directly over the wrists. Make sure your hips are directly over your knees, and check back in with your hands. So when we invert, our hands become our feet. This is your base. This is where we ground down. So I want you to really pay attention to your hands right now. Make sure the entire palm is rooted. So sometimes the hands actually like to cup up off the earth. Really press down into the pad of the thumb and the second finger as you spread the fingers nice and wide. So we're making a triangle shape base between the second finger and the thumb, and that's where I want the majority of your weight to be focused, even though the rest of the hand will still be rooted. Now from here, imagine that you're going to grip the mat with the fingertips. So feel like you're pulling the fingertips back towards the palms. Notice if the palms try to lift as you do this. So the palms are rooted, the fingertips are rooted, and we have some weight in the fingertips here as well. Now, keep gripping the mat. As we do this, we should feel the forearms start to fire up a little bit here. And keeping this grip, let's start to find a little bit of movement. So on the inhale, tilt the hips forward, let the belly drop, and lift the heart. Notice if you've lost the grip in the hands. So stay really strong in the arms, make sure the palms are rooted, make sure the fingertips are pressing into your mat. Exhale, tuck the hips under, press into the palms, round through the spine, bring the chin to the chest, hold here. Check back in with the hands. Pad of the thumb is down. We have weight in the fingertips. We're hugging the biceps in so that the arms get strong and straight, and we're rounding into the upper back, creating space in between the shoulder blades. Just take another few full cycles of breath. And then come back into your table. So in your table, we're still gripping the mat with the fingertips. I want you to get stronger through the center of the body. So the ribs hug in, low belly pulls in towards the spine, crown of the head extends straight forward. Now from here, take the fingertips just a few inches forward. Again, root down through the palms, find that strength in the forearms. Shift the hips a little bit further forward so that we can stack the shoulders over the wrists. And then from here, tuck the toes, lift the knees and engage the thighs and come into your plank. So finding strength here. I want you to imagine that you're in a handstand in this moment, you're just not upside down. So that means the thighs are strong. We pull the bottom of the ribs towards the hips, we pull the top of the hips towards the ribs, and then imagine that you're taking that cat-like position, pressing into the palms, round into your upper back a little bit. Take a deep breath in. And then keeping that rounding through the upper back, start to take the hips up and back and find your downward facing dog. Now I want you to check back in with the hands first and foremost. Notice if the hands have cupped up now. Press back down into the pad of the thumb and the second finger. Make sure the fingers are spread nice and wide. Make sure you can feel like you're going to grip the mat with the fingertips. And then start to think about the rest of the alignment in your downward facing dog. So the heart moves back towards the thighs, tailbone lifts towards the sky, legs stay nice and strong. On your inhale, lift high onto your toes. See if you can move the belly a little closer to the thighs. Now from here, flex into your right foot, pull the toes towards the shin, let the right foot just hover, And then getting strong through the front of the right thigh, keeping that right leg straight, pull the right foot as far forward as you can, and then set it back down on the earth. From here, lifting onto the right toes, start to bring a little bit more weight into the hands, flex into your left foot, pull the left foot as far forward as you can, and then set the foot back down. Lifting onto the left toes, continue the small steps to the top of the mat, and then meet in a forward fold. So right now, really start to open up into the back of the legs. Let the body hang heavy. Make sure your thighs are really strong. And then on an inhale, we'll stand tall, lift the arms high overhead. So as we rise, flex into your wrists. Have the palms face the sky. Now there's a thing in yoga where there's the shoulders down and back idea. I don't want that to happen today. I want you to think about lifting the scapula away from the ribs. Lengthen from the top of the hips out through the palms. And as you press, hug the ribs in, pull the low belly in towards the spine. So a little bit of a crunching action in the stomach. The heart stays lifted, but the ribs pull down, the hips pull up. With that strength, press the sky away from you. Keep the biceps in line with your ears. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, hinge forward just halfway. So at that halfway mark, biceps hug in. Make sure your chin is off the chest. There's this tendency to drop the chin down. So crown of the head extends straight forward. And I want you to be feeling the strength in your upper back now. So make sure that the shoulders haven't collapsed. If you see your hands, lift the fingertips higher towards the sky. Feel like you're pressing something in front of you away from you, and then lift the fingertips even higher. Check in with your thighs, make sure they're strong. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, come into your fold, and now just let your arms hang heavy. Maybe grab onto the elbows, maybe find a little bit of movement, whatever feels good. Then on your inhale, lengthen through your spine, lifting halfway. Exhale, take your palms flat onto the earth. So when I say flat, that means the palms are rooted. We start to grip the mat with the fingertips again. So we want the middle knuckles to actually be lifting up off the earth, if that's possible, in your hands. Start to shift some weight towards the fingertips, and I'd like for you to lift up onto your toes here. So stay strong through the thighs. Make sure that you're pressing the earth away. So finding a cat-like position. Now on your toes, pressing into the hands, we're going to take some cat and cow positions. So on your inhale, drop your belly, hug the tips of the shoulder blades in towards the spine, and shift the gaze forward. So this is what I don't want you to do in a handstand. On an exhale, press into the palms, round through the spine, chin to the chest, and then barely shift your gaze towards the thumbs. This is what I want you to feel like when we start to invert. So again, inhale, collapse into the shoulders, move the heart forward, shift the gaze forward. So again, this is what we don't want. Exhale, pressing into the palms, round into the upper back, chin to the chest. Imagine you're taking a cat-like position, but then barely shift your gaze in between the thumbs. So keeping this position, lightly walk your feet back into a plank. Hold here. Getting a little bit stronger in this plank. So I want you to feel like you're pulling the thumbs in towards one another without actually letting the hands move. At the same time, pull the wrists towards the toes, pull the toes back towards the wrists. Make sure we haven't collapsed into the shoulders. So find that cat-like position in the upper back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, take your hips up and back. Downward facing dog, check in with your hands. Check in with your thighs, make sure they're nice and strong. Now on your inhale, lift your right leg high. Keep your right leg strong and straight. Have the toes flex towards the face. Get really strong through your right thigh, but also stay strong through the left leg. So left heel drops down, left thigh stays strong. Try to lift the right heel a little higher by engaging that muscle directly underneath your right glute. And take a deep breath in. On your exhale, bring your right knee tight into your chest, and we're going to hold. So palms are rooted, grip the mat with the fingertips, press into the palms, round through your upper back, and then get a little stronger. Pull the right heel in towards the hip so the hamstring fires up. Use the strength of your right hip flexor to pull the knee in a little closer to your chest. And then let's step the right foot all the way through to the top of your mat. So just finding your lunge alignment for a moment here, front knees over the ankle. I want you to focus mainly on your left leg. So your left leg stays really strong. Press the back of the knee towards the sky. Keep that strength in your left leg. Take your hands a few inches in front of your right foot, and then shifting the weight forward into your right leg, I want you to lift the left leg directly into your standing splits. So feel like you're kicking that leg as hard as you can to get it as high as you can, and as much as you can, square off in the hip. So notice if we're really open here, try to drop that left hip down. On an inhale, lengthen through the spine, bending back into the right leg, come back into that lunge alignment. Lift the heart. Get a little stronger through the left thigh. And then coming right back into your standing splits. Hands move a few inches forward. As we shift the weight into the right leg, left leg lifts strong. Kick it towards the sky. While we're here, think about taking a forward fold. So think about bringing the body in closer to your right leg. Find the muscle directly underneath your left glute to lift that left foot a little higher. One more full cycle of breath. Now we're going to put all of that together to take a handstand prep. So bringing the hands just a few inches in front of the foot. I want the palms rooted, and you can make whatever adjustments you need to here. So usually we have about a foot and a half between the hands and your right foot. Root down through the palms, grip the mat with the fingertips, start to find that cat-like position in your upper back. So if you're looking too far in front of you, you will end up collapsing into the shoulders and the heart melts through. We need to actually feel like we're hugging the heart in. So bring the chin to the chest for just a moment, press into the palms, round into the upper back, and then barely shift your gaze in between your thumbs. So this is where I want you to start. Now, if you've never inverted, you might just want to take pulses today. So you can bend into the right leg, and as you do, the left leg drops, almost like we were coming back into that lunge. And then as you straighten out the right leg, the left leg lifts. So maybe this is where we're at. Just finding those pulses. If you're taking pulses, keep pressing down into the palms. Maybe you want to find a little hop today. And if you do, I want you to try to bring your right heel in towards your hip, landing as lightly as you can. If you have a handstand practice today, let's find our balance, hugging the right heel in towards the hip, hugging the right thigh in towards the belly, reaching the left toes towards the sky, and again, press the earth away. Imagine you're going to take that cat-like position, but it won't actually happen. Wherever you're at, give yourself another 3, 2. On 1, let's all meet back in a forward fold. Both feet to the earth, the body hangs heavy. Maybe grab onto the elbows here, really let the shoulders relax. Maybe we sway. On an inhale, sweep the arms high overhead, stand tall. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Full cycle of breath. And we'll just even you out with the other side. So inhale, let's sweep the arms high. Again, flexing into the wrists. Get long from the top of the hips through the palms. We want the shoulders to lift here. As the shoulders lift, we hug the ribs in. That crunching action should be happening. So top of the hips towards the bottom of the ribs. Get strong into the center of your body. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, find that halfway fold. So really lengthen through the sides of your body. Chin is up off the chest. Use the strength of your upper back to lift the fingertips closer to the sky. Hold for 3, 2. On 1, find a fold, give yourself a breath, relax. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, bring the palms flat onto the earth. So again, palms are rooted. We're gripping the mat with the fingertips. Let's lift up onto the toes again. Find that cat-like position. This time as we hold here, staying strong through the arms, bring a little bit more weight into the right foot, and just like in that downward facing dog that we took, flex into the left foot, let the left foot hover. Try to use the strength of your left hip flexor to pull the toes towards the left forearm. Hold it here. Feel like you're sandwiching your body, letting that left foot hover. And then letting the left toes touch down, take that on the other side. So staying on the left toes, right foot hovers. We get really strong through both thighs. Use the strength of the right hip flexor. Try to move your toes towards the forearm. So if it's not happening, just imagine that you'll get there. Keep pulling it in that direction. Then taking the right toes back towards the earth, keep that strength in the arms. Walk the feet back into your plank. Find that strength in your plank. Hug everything in towards your center. Press the heart away. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, take the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your left leg high. So left leg stays strong. Left toes point down towards your mat. Right leg stays strong, right heel relaxes down, and then we find that muscle underneath the left glute to lift the left heel just a little bit higher. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, left knee tighten to the chest, shoulders forward over the wrists, we hold. So keeping in mind when we went up into the handstand, we had this position. So use the strength of the hamstring to hug the heel in, use the strength of the hip flexor to pull the knee in tighter to the chest. And now step the left foot all the way through to the top of your mat. So finding that lunge alignment, nice wide stance between the feet. Your right leg should get really strong here. Try to press the back of the knee towards the sky. Engage the front of your right leg. Taking the hands just a few inches in front of the left foot, keep that strength in the right leg, and then when you're ready, we shift the weight into the left leg, straightening out the left leg into standing splits, right leg lifts towards the sky. So we need a little bit of speed to kick that foot up. On an inhale, lengthen through the spine, bending back into the left leg. Take your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Come right back into your lunge. So readjust. Take a moment. Find that strength in your right leg. And then when you're ready, hands move a few inches forward, standing splits, right leg lifts. As the right leg lifts, bring the body in close to your left thigh. If you'd like, you can take a grip around the calf or the ankle with one or both hands. Think about moving the body in closer to that foot. And then from here, lengthen through the spine. So a lot of times you'll kind of need to adjust yourself on the mat. Make sure your palms are rooted. Take that left foot back, maybe a foot, foot and a half from the hands. And then get stronger in your arms. So again, that cat-like position comes into play here. Imagine you're going to round into the upper back. Make sure your right leg stays really strong. Hug the biceps in, and then maybe we just start with those pulses. If you're feeling like it, maybe we find a few hops. So left heel in towards the hip, thigh into the belly. Make sure that we're not sticking the head out here and collapsing into the shoulders. Everything rounds and hugs in. And then if we're going to find that handstand shape, right leg stays nice and strong, left heel pulls in towards the hip, left thigh in towards the belly. We press the earth away. And wherever you're at, give yourself another 3, 2, on 1, come into your fold. Let your body hang heavy. Let the shoulders relax. And give yourself a full cycle of breath. On an inhale, we'll stand tall, lift the arms high overhead. Exhale, hands together, heart center. Hope you enjoyed the class. Hope you enjoyed the view. See you soon.